It's like a sense of validation, but like on like steroids.
2 years ago, you wouldn't find Raajiee Chelliah setting up for a comedy show at this comedy club, but 2 years later, the data analyst is making Montrealers laugh by telling stories of her upbringing, whether that be the racism she's faced, being a Montrealer,
And a woman of color, and a product of immigrants, very strict parents, not being allowed out of the house after 8 p.m., lactose intolerant, not a lot of freedom, not being able to travel by myself.
the list goes on.
I'm really happy to be here. Stand-up comedy is the only thing that I have that allows me to travel. I live in Laval.
I don't think I ever even entertained the thought of like doing stand-up comedy. I would be someone that's like shy to speak up in like a group of friends. You know what I mean? Or like even like a group of people like at a family party or something like that. Like I would be the most quiet person.
Growing up, being a comedian was not one of the career paths Raajiee ever thought of, her family emigrating from Sri Lanka in the 90s.
They really wanted at least like one of their kids to like become a doctor or something like that. So no, this was definitely not in anyone's ideas.
Raajiee!
It was after the pandemic hit in 2021 that she took a chance and decided to take a step onto the stage.
And then I did 5 minutes of material and it went really, really well. And I remember texting my sister after and I was like, I've never felt more alive in those last 5 minutes, like in my entire life. It was insane.
Since then, Raajiee has become a familiar face at comedy clubs both local and abroad, just recently making history as the first Tamil woman to be part of the Just for Laughs Originals, which showcases the best in Canadian comedy. And while she's cracking up Montrealers, be warned her language may be spicy for some.
You speak 3 languages. And I was like, no, I speak 4. I speak English, I speak French, I speak Tamil, that's my native language. And I'm learning this, I'm not a pro, but I also talk shit.
With her many intersectionalities, Raajiee says she has to work harder to make her lived experiences relatable.
I can't make a joke and then I can't talk about Bible camp because I've never been, you know? And like I could talk about going to temple, I could talk about like fasting on Tuesdays and Fridays. No one in the audience will get that because the chances of having a Tamil or like even like a woman of color or a person of color in the audience is fairly low. So it takes a lot of time to build sets like that.
And while she's constantly trying to improve her material, her main goal is educating her audiences about her culture.
If people can walk away with like learning something, it's like, oh, I had no idea that like Tamil people from Sri Lanka went through this like horrendous war or whatever, that's a win for me.
Thank you so much. My name is Raajiee.
In Montreal, Felisha Adam, City News.
Next.